Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast with Kathy, Mark, and Burk.
You know who we are.
Talking about movies and
We're talking about movies.
trailers and TV shows and the trailers for TV shows.
And really, really good TV shows.
Yeah,
So good.
Whenever we talk about really good TV shows, there's a few that always come up when you say, "Oh, there's some really good stuff like this, and this," and the one that always gets in there is Breaking Bad.
Yep.
And Better Call Saul is a spin-off, like the way Joni Loves Chachi was a spin-off of Happy Days. So it's some of the same characters.
That is not at all the same.
Same kind of thing.
It's a prequel, so it takes place before the first episode.
It's like a Saul Goodman origin story.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, he was originally
Secret
Jimmy
origins.
McGill, and just like Breaking Bad, how did Walter White turn into Heisenberg? This is Jimmy
Right.
McGill turning into Saul Goodman.
Who, I remember when he came on Breaking Bad, he sort of stole the show.
Yeah.
Like he became like the character you really like to see. So I thought it was really interesting that they said as a joke when Breaking Bad was nearing the end that they'd make a show about Saul Goodman, and like ha ha ha, and then they're like, yeah, let's make a show, and everybody thought, well, this is gonna be a big joke. It'll be one season. It ended up being so amazing because the performances were so great. So it's one of those surprises. Like it shouldn't have worked, and it works so well.
It works so well. I was going to say this is season 6, this is the last season, so this is it.
Final
season. And so we kind of cruise into how Breaking Bad started. It's kind of there's some overlap. Some of the characters are there, but I find it a brilliant show. I love it. I can't wait to watch the last season. So and this
I always remember how Jesse introduced the Saul Goodman character with the you need a criminal lawyer. And he's like, no. And he's like, no. I mean, if you're going to be a criminal, you need a criminal lawyer.
That's great.
Exactly. So and of course, when you have comedians like Odenkirk, he's technically never thought himself as a comedian, but he was a comic actor. When you get comedians in roles like this, they bring a certain cool darkness that I think just even a dramatic actor doesn't have. Like there's this sort of innate sort of like heartbreak in there. It seems like comedians are always sort of making up for, some inner turmoil. So he really brings this really well. So let's take a look at this.
Comedians are often quite deeply dark, honestly. I know some comedians and they're often not happy people. I mean, they think in very dark terms, and I think the comedy is this compensation for, the darkness. And they often also tend to be really good actors.
Yes. And so let's take a look at Odenkirk, Bob Odenkirk, in the last season of Better Call Saul trailer. We ready?
Ready?
Let's do it.
Sound speed.
You ever feel like you're being followed?
Well, you know what they say. The wicked flee when no man pursueth.
You think we're wicked?
I love she's not sure.
The days
Who's here to see Saul Goodman?
laugh and run away.
You're the guy, right?
Cool shot.
What guy's that? Salamanca's guy.
Ding.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
Are you building a case against Jimmy?
I'm just getting warmed up.
I love the ding in the background.
Yeah.
No one knows what we're doing. Except for us. The days Whatever happens next, it's not going to go down the way you think it is.
Cool.
Oh my God. I just got chills from that, especially that last line, because I feel like they're talking to us as the audience as much as they're talking to Saul Goodman.
Exactly.
Like, it's not going to necessarily go down how you think. Oh, I just total goosebumps.
Yeah.
I think also taking
a
classic sort of standard, like, Days of Wine and Roses, that kind of music.
I love that song during it.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Oh,
and the locations, the way that this whole thing is shot in that same, it's the same Breaking Bad locations, but it's such a picturesque in a depressing kind of way. Like, it's that desert, that's that flat, empty desert thing where there's just, the wind blows through and it blows a paper cup and some garbage through, it's this kind of dingy look to it.
Yeah.
Albuquerque has that sort of adobe. I mean, I've been there many times. I love it, but it has that feel, which is very interesting and very cinematic. The sky is very cinematic, and they take advantage. Some beautiful shots of the sky and and clouds and stuff that are through the series. It's just a very cinematic show.
The thing that has always been in the back of my mind during this entire season is, why don't we know who Kim Wexler is in Breaking Bad? Why is she not a character on Breaking Bad? Because if you're watching Breaking Bad and she's not in it, what happens to her beforehand? So that's the part that's really scary to me. Every time they show her, I'm getting more and more worried. Every time they show her walking away, it felt like a goodbye. I'm like, and she to me is one of the characters that almost stole the show from Bob Odenkirk. She's so great in this. So I love that she's a super smart, strong, capable woman, but she's with this man who does not give a shit about what she does, how he affects her, the circumstances he puts her in. He does not care. And even though I think he really loves her, he's so narcissistic and so confident in his own abilities that he just doesn't care what happens to her. Like, he's ruined her career in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I love that she's still sort of enthralled by him because he is that guy. She believes in him no matter what he's doing. And it's just, I'm scared for Kim.
One of the things I love about this show and Breaking Bad and the style of it, and like we were talking about the Albuquerque location, the look of it, the way it's shot, the way that the stories, the storylines, is, to me, it kind of echoes a film noir feel. It's like those old pulp story ideas, so like Pulp Fiction, kind of not the movie Pulp Fiction, but actual old pulp stories. Where you've got these people who are tempted by crime and doing underhanded things, and it's something little, the way the progression of this entire series, something little at first, and it's not going to hurt anything. We just do it this one time, and we might make a little bit of money, and then we'll stop. We don't have to keep doing it, but you do it, and it was so easy, and it's like, let's just do it one more time, and then you do a few more crimes, and then before you know, it has pulled you into this life that you now are trapped in, and you cannot get out because there are people around you that won't let you get out. And it just that sort of spiral into the despair of criminality is what it depicts so well. I think that desperation, that feeling of hopelessness and your horrible decisions, your life decisions.
The only thing we have going for us in this is that we do know that whatever happens, Saul survives and he flourishes in a way until we're coming full circle.
Right.
Like, I feel like we have the present day Saul Goodman story in black and white that always starts the seasons and has their little callbacks. Are we going to see what happens in that present day? Because that seems to be where we're all leading. There's this great crescendo of the two series overlapping, meshing, and also fast forwarding to the present day and our ultimate resolve on what happens to Bob Odenkirk's character.
Right.
There's so much I'm afraid to watch this season almost.
I know. Like you said, there's these characters that aren't around in Breaking Bad, and you're like, ugh.
I know, and it makes you wonder what happens to them.
It's kind of the opposite of a lot of prequels where you're not worried for certain people because you know that they're still around. Like you can watch Better Call Saul and you know that Saul Goodman is all good, man. He's not going to get killed. He's going to be okay. But there's these other characters in there that you do worry about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this show has been so smart for so much of the time that I'm really have high hopes that it's going to end in a pretty satisfying way, because we got some really smart people working on this, and the writing is so good. And this is actually a season where Bob Odenkirk had a heart attack in the middle of it.
That's right.
Which I think, in a way, not that's going to be good for the show or whatever. He comes back to shoot it, but it kind of gives him that little more drained, stressed out look. I think that'll probably end up working, because he does look a little like through the trailer. I could be reading into it, but I'm just very worried about my characters.
I know. I worry about him. I wish him all the best if he's watching. All the best, because we love what you do. And
we do.
So anyway, I think that's going to be another incredible season.
So good.
And it's the last season, sadly.
Final season. Here, I know we're a little bit over, but I want to show the poster.
Okay.
Because maybe there's some little hints of where we're going to go on this.
And
it's a really
over,
nice poster.
It's a good excuse to just rewatch the Breaking Bad series.
Yeah, so true. Just go right into Breaking Bad after this. I love the black and white and just the hit of red. It's not a new idea, but it really works on this, because it looks like we're merging the Saul Goodman storyline with the present day black and white Saul Goodman, who's no longer Saul Goodman.
Right.
And I like that they're kind of hinting at that, because he has the mustache. So this is present day Saul with putting on maybe a little bit of the past, so it's going to be really, really, really well done poster, and very classy.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's interesting to show him from the back and just profile, because I think all indicators would be you'd want to see him full face. Let us see Bob Odenkirk, but I like they kind of teased it a little in this. So very smart stuff.
Yeah.
So excited.
Looks pretty cool.
Looks great.
Well, should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
I'm going to say bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Wave, Mark. Bye.